Hey all blendies, welcome back to my review and also welcome to the newcomers. So today as teased, I'm going to bring you the HIYA's Exquisite Super. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface action figure based on the remade version, also known as, which was made in 2003. So here it is, and I decided to unbox everything as we go through the video, this time in particular, just for this review, because I haven't seen any other review available for this guy, so I wanted to, spend some time with you guys, taking this slowly and getting into every single detail of it. So yeah, grab a snack and enjoy the video. Let's get through the review. So this is the front side of the box, by the way. That is how it looks, age 16 plus, with some shadings at the back. Thomas Hewitt, the actor's name. At the back side, like that. At the other side also says Thomas Hewitt. Nothing much at the bottom. On top, just another picture. And this is covered with this thin layer of, what do you call, paper cover. So this thing is a whole paper cover over here. And now we have the actual box that you can see. Again, the actor's name, Thomas Hewitt, with a picture of the remade version of Leatherface himself. That is pretty cool. Nothing much at the side. Well, some bloodstains of the hands and things, you can see that. Aside, bottom and the top are the same thing, because yeah, it wasn't covered with the paper cover, the bottom and the top part. So yeah, now let's unbox this thing. Okay, so you just gently slide the box upwards, as you can see, and you see the figure inside. So let's find out whatever is in there. So we have two different layers of these plastic blasters. One for the figure and the accessories. Well, here is the base, so yeah, I'm gonna open this thing now. And we'll see. There we go. So, it's not too glossy. Kinda is not too much though. This is my first time opening the base, for sure. The only thing that I pre-opened before the review was the figure itself, so yeah. That is really cool. And you definitely feel something empty, hollow inside, because I believe you have to slide the back part of the base or something. Or in this case, oh, okay. So you can remove the top part. And there is a this HIYA Ziploc bag where you can contain the other accessories after you unbox everything, so you can keep it in there. That is cool. And it seems like the peg hole is here so that you can use this claw to hold a figure in there, which is pretty cool. It's not in ratchet joint, these things. You can swivel them. Okay, you can bend them, not in ratchet joint though, the claws. Wow, they are very stiff, just to be careful. But yeah, they're not in ratchet joint. So yeah, that is still really a good base for a 6-inch based figures. Very quality base. Nextly, we have this other, these peg holes over here. So I'm pretty sure you can replace this with the one with the logo over here so that you get more variety of choice where you want to attach the peg for the claw to hold your figures and things. So that is pretty cool. You can do that. And these eye-shaped kind of things over here, you get 2 of them apparently. And I noticed you can use this in order to keep this these kind of base attached with the other figures that you display with. Here it is. So you can keep it like that. The other side as well, because there's 2 of them. And then you can attach the same stuff when you buy another Exquisite Super Series. So you can connect them with the exact same base and then, display them in a way how they battle with each other, if you know what I mean. You can imagine how that works, yeah? Pretty sure you can. So that is how it works. And yeah, that is pretty cool. So now I'm gonna put the some of the base parts back, because I don't want to use these right now. I'm gonna put it back. And now it's the time that we have waited. We're gonna go through the figure itself. So let's just keep the base somewhere at the side. Yeah, because why not? Your moment to shine, Leatherface. Let's go. I was really hyped for this figure, actually, by the way. Why is this not open? Hold on. There we go. So, as always, we're gonna go through the accessories. So, first of all, we do have his little knife over here. It is bloody, you can see. Well, it's kind of interesting how the blood is patternized, you know, if you know what I mean. It's almost like a clownfish, and it is something pretty cool. And so did the handle. It is nicely, decently painted. Nothing crazy going on, honestly. Next, we have his crowbar kind of thing, sickle. I don't know what you exactly call this. Gigantic fishhook. I don't know, but you see, again, it's kind of interesting how the blood stains are textured at the bottom, especially, and you see how these look really rusted, and they really do feel like they are rusted. And I feel like I should not touch it at all. It actually does feel like they are rusted over time. They really definitely nailed the paint job for this particular accessory. I really do like it. It looks old, menacing, very disturbing. I like how rusted it looks. Next, our iconic weapon. Definitely, we need this for Leatherface, of course. So here we have the chainsaw itself. Well, okay, that is another good painting. You see how it's rusted everywhere. All these like dirty, kind of, I don't know, dusty like paintings. You see how these look rusted either. That is really cool. So did the handle. See black washes over the silver. Really cool. Another blood. You see, it's glossy. That is awesome. Another rusted and blood stains at the chainsaw. I love how blood is glossy there. That is just really cool. Same goes to the bottom. It's nicely, decently detailed. It's quite simple. Nothing crazy going on. But yeah, I really do love the overall paint job on this guy. Particularly, I'm gonna take the chainsaw out because I'm gonna use it later. Next, we have the hammer. Again, it is nicely textured. Bloodstains, rusted. I feel like they are equally painted from one to another side. That is kind of weird on my end. Maybe they could have done some random blood splatter kind of effect, if you know what I mean. That would have been more natural looking, if you know what I mean. But still, the handle, again, really nicely painted. Looks rusted, a bit glossy too. And yeah, I think overall it is a pretty cool thing. You smack someone's head. It's a gigantic hammer though. There we go. And we get quite a lot of hand accessories. These aren't going to be kind of hard to remove, but this is like a gripping hand over here. And again, 2003 Leatherface particularly has a lot of accessories and rings on his fingers, and they did kept that detail on here. This metallic gold you see, and some bit of blood splatter I see. But yeah, when it comes to the inside of the piece itself, obviously you will not see it when you attach this to the peg, the wrist peg, but still, it doesn't look too good in quality from inside, but you don't really have to mind about it. It's going to be covered anyways when you attach it to the peg. But besides that, the hand is quite decently painted for a 6-inch scale figure. The hand is such a small piece. Just do be careful, try not to lose it. And the other side of the hand over here, there we go. It's kind of hard to pull it out. This is the another gripping hand. This seems like it's used to grip a hammer. By the way, all these hands are really soft in material. They are easily bendable. Do be aware of that. I don't think you have to use hair dryers on this guy particularly, but still, really nicely done rings and stuff. Again, the quality of the inside doesn't look too good compared to the outer side of this hand accessory, but still overall it is decently painted and decently sculpted. There's a lot of like gripping hands, you know. These are really hard to pull out. Maybe I should have just pulled everything out before I started the review. That's what I usually do, you know. But yeah, I ain't giving up. Thank you. Okay, this is another gripping hand. Definitely for a chainsaw, I can tell. You can hold a chainsaw from the top like that. Another ring accessory. Pretty cool. I'm not going to talk about the painting that much because it's quite the same as the other ones. Just, you know, letting you know most of them are gripping hands. Let me take them out first, actually. And yeah, I took all the rest of the hand accessories out so that I can show it to you. I know it's gonna be much easier if I just flip this over, but I'm trying to, you know, keep the Leatherface in there for now. And yeah, I don't want to drop the other accessories. So we got 2 fist hands. One actually. This is another gripping hand. Holy cow! This definitely has to be another handpiece for the hammer, because it's a long hammer. It's a big one. He's gonna hold it with both of his hands. This is the fist hand. Well, nothing crazy going on, but again, different rings on his other hand. Quite cool. That is a cool accessory. And lastly, we have a open grip hand. There's only one of them. Kind of a shame. Maybe I wish we had these open gripped kind of hand for both sides, but we only have one. But still, that is a cool hand accessory. I always am a big fan of these like widely pre-post open grip hand. That is really cool. And now we're gonna get to the separate head accessory. Finally, right? So we have the head. So I'm not sure if this head comes pre-attached or the one that is already attached on the figure itself, because I got this guy quite cheap. I have secondhand from the local collector that I'm aware of, so big thanks to him with this figure. But yes, I bought it cheap, and yeah. Anyways, this is a separate headpiece over here. You see his eyes, his mouth. So this headpiece doesn't have any facial expression, but the one that I have pre-attached on the figure right now has more of an aggressive kind of facial expression. I'm not so sure why both of the heads have this extra hairpiece at the forehead over here. He's not supposed to have that, plus it's in different color. That's the only thing that bothers me. Besides that, it's all fine. So yeah. Still, overall, really like how it looks. I like how the hair is sculpted. So you see the black wash, that is really cool. The ears, you get all the stitch marks painted in black, really nicely done. Well, down there, you see his head, and you see it's covered with a leather mask. And that is a really nice detail. Well, nothing too crazy going on, doesn't it? But I really am not a huge fan of this forehead. The hair over here, maybe you can remove it, and it looks more like what's in the film. Even the older McFarlane one doesn't have any of these forehead hairs. Not so sure why this is the case, honestly. But since it's already there, I cannot complain about it. Yeah. So I'm gonna take this guy away right now and then show you the figure himself. Finally, yeah, we get to see the figure. I know. So we have the Leatherface himself. Actually, let me go back to my classic camera angle. Again, yeah, we do have the Leatherface himself right in front of us right now. So that is a good thing. Right. So he's smaller than my hand. He is smaller than my hand. He's in 6-inch scale. And, well, according to the official description, this guy's supposed to be about 6.3 inches. So here it is. And just think of a average Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure size. Here he is. Well, overall, just by the appearance itself, he looks pretty cool, doesn't he? So, let's bring him forward and discover some details of him. So again, unlike the other mask that I had, that I've showed you through the accessory, this guy has a aggressive facial expression. Well, you see his teeth more clearly than the other one. Obviously, he's more of a mad guy in this facial expression. He looks quite, I don't know, onto something. Maybe he's chasing, Erin, I guess? But yeah, the female survivor. I do have the figure of her and the figure of 2003 Leatherface from McFarlane Movie Maniac series that they have released back then. I will make sure to review that later on as well, but for now, we're gonna focus on HIYA. Well, again, another forehair. That is kind of strange on my end, not gonna lie. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's gonna mention about that. Still, that is really cool. Both ears, again, really cool. Let's make it a bit brighter. So, the material that they have used, right, it's a real fabric, but since it's a really small, like a clothing that this guy's wearing, right, since it's a 6-inch figure, these feels like you can just easily rip it if you actually want it to happen, which I'm not so sure why that would be the case, but especially for the apron, I feel like you can definitely rip it apart if you're willing to do so, but definitely don't do it. Yeah, I'm not so sure why people will do that, but same goes with the pants. It's an actual fabric, but I feel like you can actually rip it really easily, especially the fact that it's already pre-ripped for the overall detailing and stuff. Just to be careful when you touch these kind of figures. Yeah, but besides that, it is really nicely done. Love how, dusty and kind of dirty his clothings are over here. This apron's more of it's double layered apron, by the way. And these feels like like those facial oil papers. I'm not so sure if you guys know it, but yeah, they also sell those on Amazon. It's a really thin, it feels like a really thin paper, but not like a normal paper, kind of stretchy-ish paper, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's why I say this will be really easy to rip apart if you're willing to do so. So just do really be careful with the material. I'm afraid to rip this guy accidentally. I'm gonna cry if that happens. Well, besides that, his arm plate kind of thing is made in like a I'm not sure if it's like a actual leather. It does feel like it's a leather. Of course, I don't feel like it's gonna be like 100% leather, if you know what I mean, because of the price points, right? But besides that, it looks all cool. They are really nicely detailed. I love how it looks. Well, going to the pants again, it's bloody and kind of glossy where the blood is, and I think they did really a nice job with the painting for the pants, especially the blood. I think it is really cool. The pants itself is quite simplistic. It's in like a navy-ish, I don't know, dark blue, but still, it's really nicely done. Same goes to the back side of the figure over here. I love it. And yeah, I don't know, the material on the pants that they have used feels like a I don't know, I mean, this one does feel like a fabric, not something like apron where it feels like a really thin layer of paper. This is really nicely done. I like it. Do you like it as well? Well, the bottom of the shoe, it's nicely patterned too. The shoe itself, yes, you cannot see it too much because of the pants, but there are details in there. That is pretty cool thing. You got all the straps there. That is pretty cool. Under the apron, well, obviously his shirt and the pants is still on there. Wow, he even has a belt? What? Oh my goodness, that is awesome. That is awesome. I didn't expect them to have a actual belt. I'm gonna take a photo of that and show it to the pre-owned collector. The collector who pre-owned this. I'm pretty sure he didn't know this was a thing either. Oh wow, that is awesome. And I feel like, yeah, this does look like a leather, but I'm pretty sure it's the same material that they have used for the forearm plate. Wow, that is awesome. So yeah, that's one hell out of detail. Well, besides that, his backside again, his shirt is dusty, and yeah, you got his apron tied back there, easy removal, and I'm not so sure, I cannot guarantee it's gonna be easy to tie it back up because it's a tiny piece. Well, not. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be as hard as I expect, unless you don't know how to tie things. But it's all cool. Love these knuckles, these belt knuckles kind of things. The details there too. And yeah, he has his ideal pre-posed open grip hand over there, so that is a cool thing. So that is pretty much it for the details, so I think we can get to the articulation. I'm gonna be extremely careful because this is my figure. I do not want to have to pay for this again, because it's not a cheap figure for sure. His head does look up, it looks down, he has a wide range of motion, and his torso has a ball joint, so it moves around. He has a butterfly joint, moves forwards and backwards. His arm does stretch upward about that much. He does have a bicep swivel, both side. He has a single jointed arm, I believe, but do not try to move the elbow joints too much because, yeah, I don't know, I'm not so sure. These kind of materials that they use all the time, not just HIYA, but like 3-0 and other 12-inch figure makers and stuff, whenever they use these kind of materials so that it looks like a actual leather, they tend to do peel off over time, so I'm not so sure if that's going to be a case for this guy as well. Hopefully not, because I hate those issues, but just to be careful. Moving it too much can, decrease its life span. So, yeah. His wrist does swivel, there's a hinge up and down, it's just kind of stiff, there is a hinge. Well, his leg does go up, his leg does go down, there's a thigh swivel, he has double jointed knees, so that is a good thing. So his feet does move up and down, there's a really nice pivot, and there's a side-to-side rotation as well. So that is pretty much it for the his articulation and the overall look of the figure himself. I do like, I'm more of a fan of this aggressive looking face sculpt than the other one that we have just seen before. Let's bring the head sculpt back. So yeah, but why not? Let's try to interchange it. That was a really easy way to remove his head. It's in single jointed, like a double jointed ball peg over here. So that is cool, and you see his tie there. Just make sure you don't pop it out. And I'm gonna change it to the ideal head. Let me do it real quick. There we go. That was a really way easier than I thought it would be, but here we do have the ideal head attached. I like the ideal head too. I didn't really expect that the only difference between the two head sculpts would be either being aggressive or being just normal, like a head sculpt. And I feel like normal head sculpt really does it as well, if you just want to display it without any accessories on the hand, which I do sometimes, but actually most of the time. But having this aggressive head just makes it much more suitable to the Leatherface himself, doesn't it? Very aggressive all the time with his chainsaw on, so that is pretty cool. Well, yeah, I'm gonna finalize this review by, I don't know, keeping this guy on the base, and we'll see. Well, anyways, that is pretty much it, what we have for this HIYA's Thomas Hewitt version of Leatherface, also known as the remake one, or 2003 one, whatever you want to call it. I actually am not a big fan of 6-inch scaled figures, because for me, yes, I know, they are usually very posable and small, very fun to play and do a photo shooting. Of course, I do know that because I was a 6-inch figure collector before. However, nowadays I started to prefer much bigger figures, and it's been a while actually. I haven't started recently. It always has been a thing just on me. I always love bigger figures. But yeah, at the same time, I am not a big fan of small, like 6-inch figures that has a legit fabric clothes on them, such as Massacre figures. But this thing has completely changed my mind. HIYA, Exquisite Super Thomas Hewitt version of Leatherface, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. Definitely high quality fabric material that they have used for sure. I can feel it. A lot of weatherings in there, especially the bloodstains. I'm really impressed by the overall paint job that they have gave to this guy. The sculpting on the head is quite impressive. The only picky thing that I'll be honest with you guys is the hair that it has on the forehead. I'm still not so sure why that's the case, but I don't know, maybe you can just remove it, right? But I'm just gonna let it be because this guy has its own charm, and maybe that is his own charm when it comes to HIYA figure. HIYA's version of this remade, 2003 Leatherface. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, I will come back with another review.
In Leatherface we trust, joy with every bust. Action figures in a row, bringing smiles as they glow. Superheroes on the shelf, each one made with love. Unboxing magic every week, happiness we always seek. Living in a toy land, Leatherface seeks our hand. Exploring every brand, action figures so grand.